Okay. Gotten your athletes warmed up a little bit. Hopefully you've got them focused, develop their sense of balance a little bit. So now you can start to do some specific developmental work. This is preparatory footwork. Spending the first week or so of class working on these exercises and giving them as homework. It's going to really help the athletes later on. This is the base from which the rest of their footwork and good stability and control will flow. Okay. Just have them stand facing straight forwards, feet at a 90-degree angle. I call this attention position, as in paying attention position. When I demonstrate and talk to the class, I expect everybody to stand this way. They're standing balanced. They're standing like this. They're not really paying as much attention to you because their balance is unequal. If they're standing any other way, standing sideways, kind of, they're not really looking at you with both eyes. We teach visually, all right? You have to demonstrate. They have to be looking at you when you demonstrate. Their ears. We get information through our ears. They're auditory learners. You are explaining to them what to do. But if the ear balance is unequal, they will not process the information as well. Better, good stereo listening. All right? It's important to have the eyes forwards also when they're fencing because that's where our depth analysis of perception is coming from. So I just have them stand at paying attention position. Lift the heels and lift the heels. And again, they'll be swaying. They're finding their proprioceptor balance on their toes. And then bend the knees. Learn to keep the heels up, straight and down. And I may just have them just put their hands on their hips so that their arms hang relaxed. Lift, bend a little more. Straight, down, down, up, down. Stop. What you want them to be focusing on is that their knees are not sagging together, but that the knees are pushing apart, going out over the toes. And of course, their quadriceps are weak. They will try to help with the lower back instead. So they'll start to do this. You ask them to bend the knees, and they'll be leaning over this way. You want to make sure that they're staying straight. This is now developing actually their core strength and stability. Up, down, with the heels. Lift, bend, bend. Always making sure they're pushing the knees apart, straighten, and down. And as they're first learning, they're going to lose their balance here. Just have them go back to the center. As they go down, they're going to start to rock and do this because they have weak development in the quadriceps. That's essential for our fencing. Power is in the quadriceps, which is driven through the hips, which has to, the back has to be straight and down. And this can serve as part of their warm-up. You do this with the athlete just a few times even, making sure they're standing straight. They're going to be getting some great quadricep work. Okay? It's not a squat. It's kind of what I call a fencer squat. When you lift weightlifting squats, heels stay on the ground. Here, the heels come up off the ground. So we have the power of the balls of the feet for our agility work. Down, up. If you have a mixed group, more advanced students, you can have them go a little bit deeper. And I'm going to teach them to come up slowly and not come up all the way. And right there, they're getting a nice little quadricep workout to start. I have them lift the heel, then lift the other heel. All right? Fencing, when we move, we have lift the front toe to move forwards, an ideal situation into lunge. And we have the back heel up. So they have to learn to lift opposite heels and toes. So I have them lift the right toe and down. Left heel, down. Right heel, down. Left toe, down. I recommend, if you can handle it, it's not easy, when you're facing the class, if you say lift your right toe, and you lift your left toes. You actually lift the same side they're going to be seeing visually, so they don't have to make that translation. Okay? So lift your left toe, I'm lifting my right toe, and down. Lift your right toe, I'm lifting my left toe, and down. Left heel, down. Right heel, down. Lift both heels, down. Lift both toes. Again, you want to make sure they're bending the knees, not locking. They lift the toes, it's what happens. It will rock back to the hips rather than using the muscles in the front of the shin. This is what we're trying to develop here. So have them bend the knees, stay straight. And again, they'll lose their balance. It's okay. It's normal. They're learning and finding their proprioceptors in their center. So they're lifting the toes. Then they can lift the left toe and the right heel. And again, they have to bend the knee at the same time. You don't want them rocking like this, because that's what they'll do when they start to fence. You don't want the hip rocking out. Lift the toe and the heel, opposite heel and toe. And so you have to switch back and forth. And of course, this is what they will do. This is what you want them to do. So they actually have to bend the knee when they lift the toe and keep the hips as level as possible. Up and down. A fun thing that I always have my athletes do that we call, of course, the FAP shuffle, but call it whatever shuffle you want. You lift your heel, swing it out, and swing it in. You want to make sure the athlete is not standing on one foot and turning the whole body. Weight stays centered. I lift and I turn in. I lift the other side. I turn in and out. I lift the toe and I pivot on the heel. And I lift the other toe and I pivot. We're not doing this. We're not pivoting the body. We're learning to pivot from the hips. Okay, in fencing, it's important to keep the knees pressed out over the toes. This gives better safety for the knee in the front, gives better power and drive for the leg in the back. Okay, but they still have to learn to do that. So lift the heel, rotate it out, lift the heel, rotate it out, lift the toe, rotate it in, rotate it in. As you notice, I'm still keeping my weight. I usually make a description that you're, crushing a bug. Okay, here in Pennsylvania, of course, we're crushing lanternflies. Depending on where you might be, pick a noxious insect you want to eliminate, and then crush it. Lift the heel, swing it out. Lift the other toe, swing it in. So now you're standing a little bit knock-kneed. Okay, pigeon toe. Lift the toe, swing it out. Swing in the other heel. Heel, toe, toe, heel. Again, you're not doing this. They have to make sure they're lifting the opposite heel, opposite toe. Heel, toe, toe, heel. And of course, as they're first learning the movement, it's foot by foot. As they get more proficient, what we really want is opposite heel, opposite toe. Okay, so shuffle right, shuffle left. And I always give this as a homework assignment for them.